Hi guys, welcome back to crap. What was this game called again? Hi, welcome back to Long Live the Queen. That's what it was. So we left off with trying to go for some more regal, queenly kind of ideals, with her being more yielding. We're on week 11, so let's see what we can do from here. Current mood, of course, is... I don't know what I'm doing. Return. Classes. So she's getting a boost in royal demeanor, history, and faith. I want to try getting her composure up. Week 11, you practice deep breathing exercises, learning to find and maintain a sense of inner calm. You practice positive thinking, maintaining a good self-image, and conditioning yourself to carry on rather than be frustrated by any past misstep. You practice sitting calmly while your teacher circles around you and makes unexpected loud noises at random intervals. There are reports that a Keithong has been sighted leaving the old forest. What's a Keithong? A beast with the body of an enormous golden cat, a sharp beak and spikes on its back. Eek! Several disappearances in southern Calores are already thought to be the work of this creature. What do we do? Should we send hunters? The traditional policy on stray beasts is to hope that they return to the forest and stay there. Hunters are no match for such creatures. You would only make it angry and waste more lives. So, we just let it eat people? Everyone dies in the end. Also, there's a letter for you. Talaris, the Duke of Sedna, will be arriving next week for an official visit. A walk in the fresh air helps you forget the burdens on your shoulders. Alright, let's see our skills. So I'm going to do elegance and presence. Actually, I'm going to do public speaking. I need to work on my public speaking. You practice standing and walking with books balanced on your head. You practice the elegant way to hold and sip from a teacup, your pinky slightly extended for balance. You have unlocked a new outfit. Yay! You practice tongue-twisting sequences of syllables to improve your enunciation. Ah, Your Highness, what a pleasure it is to meet you in person at last. Your description did not do you justice. Flattery failed. God damn it. I don't know how to deal with handsome older men paying me compliments. I was so pleased to hear that you had accepted my humble offering, a jewel for a jewel, but you are the more precious. I hope that this is only the beginning of a mutually beneficial relationship. A union between us would bring stability to both our peoples. He really does want to marry me. Fuck yeah, I'll accept. I would be honored. Elodie! Your Grace, are you not aware that my daughter has only 14 summers? It's my decision. A betrothal only, of course. There is no need for hurry. You have your coronation to plan after all. If I might be of service in any way, please send for me. I will be happy to offer my protection or advice. You sneak out of the castle to have a little fun. You enjoy your freedom, but your father won't like it if he finds out. Haha! I love this outfit. My mood, I am afraid. Okay. Which means I get a bonus to agility and faith, but a penalty to roll demeanor, weapons, intrigue, and military. So I need to work on my reflexes in my dance. You practice walking on the arm of a partner and following their cues to pause and turn while keeping your eyes closed. You practice with a jump rope to increase the speed of your footwork. You practice solo tennis hitting a ball against the wall and repeatedly in order to train your hand and your eye to react. You may now play sports on the weekends. Yes! You are requested to stand in judgment. A woman has been convicted of attempted murder and requests the mercy of the crown. Your Highness, this slattern dares to beg pardon when she admits that she tried to poison my sister under her own roof. Which sister? Carisande, the Duchess of Mead. Is she all right? She is unharmed. We caught the culprit in the kitchens before anyone could eat her foul spew. Well, what do you have to say for yourself? It's justice, it is. Them devils killed me brother and broke me man's hut. Lied to her, they did. When she went to see why he'd not come back, said he'd gone for a soldier when he never would. He weren't the only one either. I waited 10 years for my chance to get my own back. That's justice. You see, she completely unrepentant. Hang her and be done with it. I don't know what this is all about. Either way, murder is a serious crime, but... As she is clearly guilty, her life is forfeit. She will be hanged in public as a deterrent to other criminals. You'll not have me! All of a sudden, she breaks loose from her guards and rushes at you. In your court dress, you are unarmed. You grope for a weapon and find only a heavy golden ornament which you hurl in her direction. Your missile flies wide off its mark. Before you have a chance to do anything else, your personal guards step into action, cutting the woman down before she can endanger you. Your lifeless body lies bleeding on your carpet. Her life. Get that out of here. Put it on display so that everyone sees what happens to criminals. You take it to court for a few games of tennis. Feel the thrill of competition. Yay, I'm yielding again. Okay, so roll a demeanor. Because I definitely want to get these up. But I do need to work on conversation. You learn that it is always better to compliment people for their personality and their choices than their physical attributes. You study the traditions of ballroom etiquette, how to politely accept or defer an offer, and how to avoid the impression of attachment to an individual. You memorize the correct title for every servant in the castle. Treating servants with respect ensures good service. As you are walking one day in the gardens, you hear a strange sound and look up to see an owl flying overhead. A single dry leaf flutters in its talons. That's funny. I thought owls were nocturnal. I guess I was wrong. When you return to the castle, your father is waiting for you. There is a woman here to see you. She wishes crowdfunding for a project. Thank you for seeing me, Your Royal Highness. I come to you on behalf of the people. I wish to build a hospital where any citizen afflicted with disease can be brought for treatment. Putting all the sick people together, wouldn't that make them die even faster? We are not interested. You order your guards to step aside and let you into the treasury. They waver slightly, but in the end they stand by your father's commands. You take deep breaths and practice speaking loudly and clearly, projecting your voice to every corner of a room. You memorize lists and sonnets and recite them for your teacher and any castle staff she can round up to serve as an audience. Your teacher asks you questions about made-up nonsense, pushing you to improvise answers smoothly and swiftly without having to worry about them being correct. Remember that the Festival of the Good Lady is approaching. There will be a public celebration for the commoners, followed by a grand gala for the nobility. A grand ball. There will be dancing. As queen, you would be expected to lead the procession and take part in the ceremonial planting, possibly give a speech. However, since you are not yet crowned, it is not required. It may not be safe to expose you to the public. What do you mean, not safe? Outside of the castle, you are less well protected. If anyone means you harm, think on it now. Decide later. Will the Duke of Sedna attend the gala? It is a traditional Novan event. Inviting your fiancé might be seen as a statement. You suspect your father does not wish to watch you dancing with Talarist. If I'm going to marry him, it's a statement I ought to send. As you wish. There is a letter for you as well. It's from Briani. I went to school with her, but she's a couple years older than me. Her mother is Duchess of Mead. She's complaining that her mother still won't let her come home for the holidays. Apparently her Uncle Kevin has been acting strangely lately and shouting at shadows. She's bored and looking for an adventure. Well, I don't have any to suggest to her. I have the conversation one. Yeah, it's kind of cute. How are my skills in agility? I need to work on my flexibility too. Fuck. You learn to relax and evaluate the tension in your body, then to practice the different types of motion available to each of your joints, twisting, shifting, and rotating. You practice different partner dance positions closely held at a distance and non-contact, and the appropriate hand placement for each. Today is the procession and planting for the Festival of the Good Lady. Will you be leading the parade? If you have any concerns about your safety, please stay here. The people will recover from disappointment. If we lose you, there is no recovery. I'm not afraid. I'm going to be the best parade leader ever. My little girl. You prepare your best gown for the occasion, then walk slowly through the town with your attendants. It would not be appropriate for you to wear a sword, but you do walk with a sturdy golden scepter that's taller than you are. At the end of the route, you help the priestess turn over the earth for the new tree to be planted. After the blessings are read, you hold up your hands and call for silence so that you can speak. My affectionate greetings to you all, and my thanks, for it is the people that make this domain great. We are here today to celebrate the gifts of the good lady, the promise of fertility and new birth. Winter always comes, but winter is followed by spring. Each of us faces hardships, but we grow back stronger than ever. Now is the time for new beginnings, and for my beginnings as your queen. Your words are met with great applause. The procession regroups to return to the castle. And practice circling your arms and making kicking motions with your legs to stretch out your limbs. You practice bouncing motions with your arms and legs to increase the muscular effect. You kneel with your hands pressed to the floor, then stretch like a cat, rolling your back up and down. Are you ready for the grand ball? All the nobles in the domain are here to see you, to see their queen. You finish processing and descend the stairs to make a grand entrance. All around, the rich and powerful pause in their activities to gaze upon you, the ruler of them all. Seeing yourself reflected in so many eyes makes you want to run away and hide. After a moment, you force yourself to carry on, but you're sure they've all seen you hesitate. Your father waits for you at the bottom of the stairs and offers you his arm. The first dance is for us. He guides you gently around the dance floor, never rushing you. It's fun to dance with your father, but the look in his eyes is so sad. I believe the next turn is mine. He bows gracefully and offers you his hand, then leans closer to whisper a quick question. Do you know how to dance? Nod or shake your head. You dip your head in acknowledgement. Dancing with a real partner feels quite different from dancing with your father. You knew him, knew his steps like a part of you. Now every move is a mystery. Unfortunately, you lose track of which steps you're supposed to do and trip over your own feet. Oops. Between the dances, there is time for the guests to mingle, chat, and sample tiny bits of exquisite food. You interact comfortably with your peers, and leaving a wise word in every ear. During a lull in the music, Banyan, the Duke of Murray, taps on elegant fingernail against a wine glass, letting the clear note ring out through the room. If I might have your attention, I believe we should offer our compliments to our lovely hostess. Her words of wisdom guide us through our difficulties. Everyone applauds politely. As the gala continues, you take the opportunity to observe nobles that you rarely see. There's Gwenolel, for instance, the young lady of Sudbury, only months older than you and due to finally inherit control of her duchy soon. Or Adele, the youngest daughter of the Duchess of Lilla, and the fierce sportswoman. She was a few years ahead of you at school and the absolute terror of the ball fields. No, Brioni. She had said her parents were leaving her stuck at school this season. Oh, excuse me. Her parents are here, dancing together, the Duke Consort clutching his Duchess possessively tight. Strange that there's no sign of your cousins, though. Shouldn't they be here? Your aunt and uncle are here, of course. It would be scandalous if they hadn't come, Merva being so close by. It's nice to be able to enjoy time with friends and family, isn't it? As the evening grows late, your personal guest draws you aside for a private conversation. You have my most fulsome thanks for the invitation to this event. However, you might wish to spend more time with the scribes before corresponding and writing with other nobles. Some may not appreciate your unique sense of phrasing. Wonderful, I sounded like an idiot. It is always the greatest of pleasures for me to be in your presence. I look forward to the day when we will no longer have to part. We're almost through with this playthrough. Got a couple more weeks left. Since I seem... Well, I gotta get expression up too. Decoration's not too important though. I guess I could start working on military. I think anger is the one that makes it a lot better. You learn that the sea is not something you hold, it is something you travel across. Naval strategy ensures your free travel while denying it to your enemies. You study the strengths and weaknesses of different weapons and battle formations. You wander downstairs to visit your father and talk about the latest events in the domain. You're moving with such enthusiasm that you don't realize your father isn't alone until it's too late to avoid him and his companion. You are too kind, Jocelyn. Countess Siren, not a member of your circles. She's a bit more than a decade your senior, far too old to have ever been your friend, and yet not all old, as noble women go. She has 2 minor titles, no husband, and your father's arm in her grasp. How dare she make a move on your father? You met her eyes and imagine your mother's disapproving presence behind you. She notices your stare but only smiles at you ever so sweetly. Darling Elodie, I hope you have been well. Fine. Perhaps we'll be seeing more of each other in the future. She gives a little wave and exits. Once she's gone, you raise an eyebrow at your father. This is the path that you have set us on. What do you mean? Your acts have made everyone think about the preparations for the future. Calorius needs an heir. My brother, your Uncle Armand, is looking for a wife as well. One of us, at least, must produce more children. But, Mama, nothing can ever replace your mother. But we all have to do things that we don't want to do. You should be careful how you deal with people like Sirene. You need the goodwill of your nobles as well as your commoners. There haven't been any problems so far. As queen, you must be aware of everything around you. I'm paying attention to what's around me. So, your efforts to access the treasury have not been successful. We still require your crystal. She said before if I couldn't get into the treasury, she might have to kill the guards. I suppose, if it's the only way, leave it to me. Fine. At night, illness strikes the castle. A number of servants report feeling ill, but most recover by the morning. Only a few guards, mostly those on duty at the royal treasury, are found dead, their lungs filled with water as if they had drowned on dry land. Nothing is stolen, at least nothing that is acknowledged publicly. But when you look at your father's face, you can see it in his eyes. The crystal is gone and he knows that you are to blame. He will never trust you the same way again. You study different kinds of ships, their names, designs, and the number of crew needed for each. You learn about the types and amounts of food required for an army on the march and how long they will remain edible. It is the time of the year to decide any necessary adjustments to the royal budget. The majority of the money we receive is already spoken for, but there is always some room for discretion. I don't know anything about budgets. I think we have enough money. Let's lower the taxes a little. As you wish. So, you did it. Did you doubt me? No, not really. It had to be done. I didn't have any choice. I have to keep going. What do I do now? The crystal must merge with your flesh, binding its energy to you. It will become a part of you for as long as you live. Hold it in your hands. Feel it against your skin. Place it on your chest, over your heart, and believe. I do believe in magic. I do. You take a hold of the crystal and wish. You feel dizzy and both larger and lighter than you were before. The crystal has disappeared from view, but you know where it is. Wow. Now that you're one of us, I can train you in the use of your powers. Wait, you're a Lumen? She holds out her hands. Light flickers above her bosom, and then, with a shower of sparkles, something takes shape. Before you can react, she clasps her hands together and the crystal vanishes. My powers have been handed down in secret so that I would be here and ready when you needed me. I should feel happy, I guess. I'm a Lumen now. I just hope I'm doing the right thing. You study different kinds of ships, their speeds, maneuverability, and standard complement of weapons. You study the kinds of equipment that soldiers need available, such as bedding, weapons, armor, medicine, bandages, and the tools to repair anything damaged. You are requested to stand in judgment. A man has been convicted of murder by strangling of his wife. He does not deny the act, but requests a pardon that he might be set free. If you admit you killed your wife, why do you think I'm going to set you free? Save me, your majesty. Wasn't my fault. Demons made me do it. Everyone knows the power of magical beasties. They used me. They twisted my fingers in the chains. My wife found me screaming. She tried to shake me, and the chains wrapped around her. I need the priestesses to bless me and make me clean again. Demons that make you attack people? Is that even possible? I'm very sorry for your loss. The monsters are responsible, not you. Don't blame yourself. The priestess of the Royal Grove will take care of purifying you. Bless you, your majesty. Pressured. Bonus to faith. So I'm gonna do another in strategy and then faith. Meditation. You study the effects of battle stress on troops and how morale can turn the tide of combat. You practice assuming a sitting position that allows you to be relaxed and tranquil without being so relaxed that you're likely to fall asleep. My lady, there's a letter for you. Who sent this? It isn't signed. It appears to be a poem describing you in a manner that is entirely inappropriate for a queen. What? With a squid? That's actually pretty funny. Just then, an incredibly unlucky breeze swirls between the windows of your tower bedroom, tugging the paper out of your hands and off into the sky. You stick your head out the window to discover the poem caught and fluttering on the roof nearby. You can almost reach it. What's the worst that can happen? It blows off and someone reads it and laughs at you? That's better than breaking your neck. Besides, if you're lucky, it will rain and wash the words away. Angry. I need to get willful and cheerful up. And lonely down. Where are my military skills at? So I need logistics and strategy. You study military recruitment and the importance of training and motivation in making soldiers who can trust and depend on each other. You learn about how units reinforce each other in the field, gaining strength through proximity and the covering of weaknesses. You may now tour the barracks on the weekends. You study different kinds of transport, animals, wagons, sledges, ships, boats, and boots. You learn about the support costs created by support. The more equipment you have, the more people and animals are needed to move them, and then those people and animals also need to be fed and equipped. I regret to inform you that Fabian, the Earl of Titan and Duke Regent of Ulath, has passed away. This isn't really a surprise. He was pretty old. The problem is the political implications. With the control of Ulath in doubt, it falls to the crown to make decisions. Young Lord Adar will not reach his 15th birthday for over 2 years. He requires a regent. His stepmother, Aris, the Duchess of Lilla, has petitioned that the boy be left in her care. This would, however, leave her in personal control of 2 neighboring duchies, which is generally forbidden. Almost the entire eastern border. I don't know anything really bad about her, though. The boy does have a living grandfather, the Earl of Ishtar, or you might appoint an unrelated noble to act in his stead. The Earl of Ishtar is the closest blood relation that Adar has. He should be regent. As you wish. You increase your awareness of your own thoughts and emotions, making it more difficult for mind-affecting magic to twist your reactions. You learn to consciously project a magical field through your thoughts, blocking outside magic from touching your mind, but only when you have the energy to consciously resist. There is a woman here to see you. She is a musician and wishes crown patronage, which means money. Your Royal Highness, if you accept me as a member of your court, I will immortalize you in word and song. I have dabbled in musical styles from many countries and can entertain your guests and lighten your evenings. I wonder if she also writes naughty poetry. God damn it. The musician sings a little ditty to demonstrate her skills with the lute. It's okay, but nothing special. Thank you, but we are not interested. You attended service in the Castle Grove, letting the peace of the ritual calm your heart. Alright, this gives me a boost to conversation and athletics, penalty to military, intrigue. Okay, where are my moods? I need to get willful up. You gain innate resistance to light and dark. You can now see in the blackest caves or stare into the sun without going blind. You close your eyes and learn to feel the magic inside you. You receive a letter from young Lord Adair. It's an extremely formal letter for such a little boy, thanking you for your wisdom and allowing him to live with his grandfather, who probably dictated every word he wrote. There we go. Mood. Bonus to Lumen. There we go. You learn to summon a small glowing light which you can then move around independently. You can practice using small amounts of magic and feeling that power outside of yourself. Showing up into the sky out your window, you notice a strange flash of light. A falling star. Pretty. Okay, so where are my skills at for my lumens? I need my willed magic up, so I'm gonna do that twice. You learn how to cast rays of white light that can banish shadows and blind your opponents. You learn to create tiny discs of solid light which can fly through the air and cut into targets. By concentrating, you can create a wave of discontent which panics or enrages animals in the area. You learn to create a blade of solid light which can wield like a sword to slice through flesh and stone alike. What a beautiful day. It's nice to stop and breathe sometimes. Do I get my... There we go. Magical girl! Okay, so I'm gonna do sense magic. Your mentor summons up magical energies to strike the nearby ground so that you can learn to sense someone else's spells in use. You close your eyes and call out when you detect your mentor casting a silent spell beside you. You learn to detect ongoing enchantments such as blessed weapons that can do magical damage. You learn to consciously project a magical shield around your body, blocking intrusion, a powerful technique, but you can't keep it up for long. You gain increased resistance against heat and cold, becoming comfortable in different weather and environments, and able to sip hot soup without burning your tongue. My lady, there are letters for you. Another letter from Brienne. What does she keep writing? Why does she keep writing me? We were never even friends. She says she's bored and lonely, and she's looking forward to seeing me at Gwenelle's birthday party. That's right, Gwenelle is about to turn 15. She'll be Duchess of Sudbury for real now. This other letter must be my invitation to her birthday celebration next week. Gwenelle and I were friends at school, and this will be a big event, but it's also a long way to travel. A lot of things can happen on the road. I'd better stay here. You learn to tell the difference between different kinds of magical signatures so that you can tell roughly what a spell you detect is meant to achieve. You extend your magical perception to give you some idea of where a detected spell was cast from and how long ago. You learn to direct a beam of searing light through the end of a staff, burning whatever you point at. By concentrating, you can create a wave of discontent which panics, confuses, or enrages other people around you. All of my friends are at Gwenelle's party and I don't get to go. I sent Gwenelle a letter saying that I couldn't come, but it was her mother, the Countess, who replied. I think she's insulted that I didn't consider the event important enough to attend. You learn to detect the latent power that signifies a lumen even when he or she is not actively working magic. You extend your senses, learning to detect spells and magical creatures at a greater distance. You learn to detect lingering traces of strong magic from the past even when the spell has long since completed. You learn how to quickly flare magical shields around you to deflect an incoming attack. This uses much less energy than a constant shield, but it requires good timing to be effective. You learn how to maintain a low-level deflection field so that magical attacks not directly targeted at you will slide harmlessly aside. That doesn't need much power, so you can keep it up for long periods of time. The Duchess of Lila has sent you a gift. What's this? It's a cushion, finely embroidered with the design of a running horse. It's well done and clearly required hours and hours of needlework, but it's also fairly useless. That's nice, I guess. Find a chair or sofa to set it on. Resist and wield. You learn how to directly counter offensive magic with your own power so that you can burn out a spell that someone else has cast. This is very dangerous if the other spell is too powerful. Your increased skill and power gives you innate resistance to mid-affecting magic. Your understanding of the flow of power gives you increased resistance to damage caused by magic. Even without a shield, you can still be hurt, but less than an ordinary human would be. You learn to shape light into images of things that are far away or things that don't exist at all. You learn to create a powerful explosion of light, burning those caught within the blinding others who look at it. You learn how to make use of images to wield your other's power at a great distance. The Duchess of Mead is here to see you, my lady. Hello, Lodi. I'm sorry to trouble you, but have you seen Brienne? Not since I left school. She shakes her head. She's gone missing. She's not at school where she should be. I know she was unhappy, but I never expected... She wrote me a letter saying that she was bored and looking for adventure, but that's all I know. Oh dear. I hope she hasn't done anything too foolish. My poor little lamb. I have to go look for her. got a boost in conversation and athletics, which is actually, no. I need to do agility. So go to my outfits, do my agility boost. Get her scared. You practice holding your body in stretched out poses with the aid of your teacher to support your limbs. Oh god. You practice running at high speed back and forth over a small area, making quick turns and changes in direction. As you are walking through the great hall, a freak gust of wind suddenly blows out all the candles in the room. How strange. There must be an open window somewhere. I just realized I've gone like way over the time that I wanted to for this episode. I'm gonna go ahead and save here. Save it. We will continue this in the next video. Just tell me how you're liking it so far. Leave a like or a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you want to see more. Excuse me. And I will see you guys next time. See ya.